How are you?
Still here.
All
How
right.
are you?
Good. We're doing good. We're doing good. Who was your companion there that just hopped up on the couch earlier?
Oh, that's Cassie.
Hey, Cassie. Look at that. Cassie is well behaved. Good dog.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's wonderful.
Nice.
She's a very docile creature.
Wonderful. How long have you had her for?
3. She's 3. You're 3,
wow.
right? Yeah. You're 3 years old. You're an old dame.
That must have been a blessing, especially the past couple of years, because I know a lot of people started getting dogs.
Yeah, but I split her between my partner, and it's all good. Everybody gets a little piece of Cassie, and she's got a lot of people who love her, so that's nice.
That's amazing.
That's great.
That is so good. That is so good. Well, Julie, excuse me. Thank you so much
no sweat.
for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah.
If I have to, the only thing I might have to do is get up and make sure food is not burning.
That is cool.
That's cool.
Around this time, that's what happens.
That's what happens. What are you cooking?
We're having salad, so that's not going to burn.
That's not burning.
Yeah. We're having little salmon burgers.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Nice.
We're having salmon here tonight too.
Oh, see? There you go.
We're doing Meatless Monday on a Wednesday.
Hi, the following podcast is brought to you by Radical Road Brewery, the best craft beer in the heart of Leslieville. Find them at 1177 Queen Street East. That's Radical Road Brewery.
Good evening. I'm Julian Taylor. I hope that it's evening where you are. If it's not, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the Jim Carrey show, what is that, the Truman Show says?
Yes.
I can't remember. But anyway, I'm a Toronto-based musician. I've been living here for most of my life. I've spent a lot of time in some other places like Maple Ridge, where my grandfather and grandmother were situated. And I spent a lot of time there. I've spent some time in Ganawage. I've spent some time in New York City. And I've spent some time in Fenelon Falls. And the idea of what I do is I try to do exactly what I'm meant to. And what I mean by that is that it's been a calling all my life. I've heard melodies in my head, and that's all I've been trying to chase. This is Welcome to the Music.
All right. Yes.
Perfect. Welcome. That was a great intro. I can honestly say it's one of the most. We've had people go on for a long period of time, just about everything that they've done, and that we were going to talk to them about anyway. But that was great. That was great a great in-depth interview. So thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Julian,
I really do appreciate it. Yes, Karim.
Fantastic album.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's
really,
very kind of you.
Really enjoyed it. Thanks for. You probably do this for everyone, but I'm just going to pretend you just did it for me. Where you write a nice handwritten note.
I do that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you for that.
And you're very welcome. You're the only person that I've done it for.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I believed. That's what I believed. And I'll be honest with you. I had never heard of your music. I had heard of you first through my cousin-in-law, Gregg Nisbet.
Oh yes, I know who he is.
Yeah, years ago he said you need to have Julian Taylor on. And so when I first played that, I see your face, I put the music in, and I go, "That's not the voice that I was expecting." I said, "That is just." It just took me away. It was surprising, but it was delightful, and so I really enjoyed this album. So thank you for making it.
Was it this particular record that you heard?
It was this particular record. I don't know what I was expecting, but as soon as it started, I go, "Whoa!" And it reminded me. Oh my goodness, he's playing at the William Prince. It reminded me of William Prince.
Oh, I love William. He's so fantastic.
When I first I didn't know who he was. I was at a benefit concert, and he came up, and his voice just took me away.
Yeah, William does that to you for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
his stories.
He's very consistent. His stories are absolutely brilliant, and his voice is that deep sort of alto baritone that just it resonates in such a vibrant way that it does really take you back. I saw him. I think the first time I ever saw William Prince was at the Shelter Valley Music Festival, which is in Grafton, and my partner at the time and I went up there to spend the night, and actually the weekend, because I had been asked to introduce to all the artists. I wasn't actually playing; I was just an MC. And gosh, maybe that's 4 years ago. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
But I remember seeing him that night, the first night of that festival. We also watched Samantha Martin was there, I think. Amelia Curran was there. It was a really great weekend of music. Digging Roots was there, and we hung out with everybody by the fireplace. It's just one of those folk festival moments, and that was the last year of the Shelter Valley Music Festival, which was unfortunate because they had run for almost 2 decades. And one of the things I do remember the most about that particular evening was it got so cold. It was early September and the daytime was really warm, and it got so cold. And my girlfriend and I at the time, we weren't really into squeezing and cuddling at night, but we needed to in the same sleeping bag at that particular time, because there was absolutely no way that we were going to get through the night without freezing to death if we didn't sleep in the same bag.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a good time.
Look
Great
at you.
memories.
Hopeless romantic, Julian Taylor.
Hopeless. Completely hopeless.
Just hopeless.
Yeah, just completely hopeless.
Wow. One of the things that I like to do is but prior to speaking with a guest is you doing some research and trying to find out about the artist. And Gregg introduced me to this paper. Gregg lives you don't live in the West End, Gregg, but he subscribes to the West End Phoenix.
But Bedini bugged me and finally said, dude, I don't care if you live in the East End, you got to subscribe. All right.
Yeah. And so,
he did that to me too.
There you go. And Gregg forced me. He didn't force me, but he said you need to. It's really good. So, anyways, I subscribe to it now. And you're a contributor. You write comics.
I write the comics. I don't draw the comics, though.
Yeah, but it's your story.
Yeah,
you tell the story. You write the story.
Yeah, I'd never really done that before, and Dave Bedini asked me to do it once. Yeah. Around halfway through The Ridge had come out, and I wrote one episode. And August, Tilston was the artist at the time, and it worked out. And so Dave asked me to do 6 more episodes.
Okay.
I've almost completed the 6. Some of them I'm extremely proud of, and the others I'm just sort of proud of.
Okay.
But I'm very proud to be part of the West End Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's hard to churn out. It's definitely a practice in discipline and artistry to be able to churn out something every couple months and have it to be relevant, interesting, and really pull people in. I don't know if anybody's able to do that on a daily basis. So it's a bit of, same thing with music. I get a little bit more time to stretch and warm up before I have to actually put something out again. But it's been interesting. It's been a great experience for sure.
Yeah.
Do you find it's the same process as writing music, or is it?
No, it's not the same process.
Was it foreign at the time, or? Yeah.
Definitely foreign. Still is. I mean, writing music is kind of foreign to me too. So, but I would have to say that writing an editorial is far more difficult for me than coming up with a melody. I mean, lyrics are really hard for me too. I don't come up with them very easily. I don't understand what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. I'm just trying to do it. In the process of Yeah.
I wanted to, I'm thanking you this whole episode. This is the thank you, Julian Taylor episode. But but the comics helped me, and so I came across, because I started reading it. I came across volume 3 first. Volume 1 and 2.
I don't remember which one that is.
Volume 3 is stones. You're collecting stones, and maybe I think you've given it up.
That's a good one. I'm proud of that one.
And so I'm reading it, and I said, I can't tell if this is biographical or not. And so I said, oh, this is volume 3. I went through my collection. I didn't have volume 1 or 2. So I went online and I found volumes 1 and 2. And I said, no, this is biographical.
Yeah. What else would it be? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what it would be. Spider-Man's not autobiographical.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what it was. So I wanted to ask you, so I'm not a musician, but I remember 3 or 4 years ago going to New York. I had heard of the Apollo. I believed it was important to the city and to music. But I really had no idea. But I felt as soon as I walked in that building, I could feel like there was something in there. It felt heavy. I could feel the history in there. I wanted to ask you, your mom took you there when you were visiting family. She wanted you to play, in fact, but tell me about the feeling of going into that building yourself as a musician now.
I mean, the ghost of Dinah Washington lives there. Come on, man. It's massive. It's just like, I've never actually set foot in the Ryman in Nashville, but for soul music and rhythm and blues, and even comedy for that matter, the Apollo is a stepping stone and a rite of passage. Louis Armstrong played there. Billie Holiday played there. We're talking about people whose recordings have completely changed everything. Aretha Franklin, the ghost of Aretha Franklin lives there. And people ask me all the time, what are your favorite songs of all time? And I say, well, I know what some of the most important songs of all time are. I have my favorite, and they're constantly changing. But when you look at an artist like Aretha Franklin, I've said it before and I'll say it again. In 1967, when the civil rights movement was going on in the United States, and resounding reverberations were happening across the world, in walks a black woman who's not, doesn't look like a black Barbie or anything like that, for lack of a better term, but is yelling at the top of her young lungs, respect. And it goes number 1. If you don't think that had a hell of a lot to do with the changing of the guard and people's idea of things, I don't know what else does.
Wow. I want to pick up another story here. So I'm looking at volume 2. Well, let me ask you this. So as I'm doing the research, I come across your band, Staggered Crossing. I do some reading. It did fairly well in terms of radio play at rock stations across the country, my understanding. I listened to that. I have to apologize. I can't remember that one song. Not the one song, but there was one song that did well. Sorry. Further
again would have been the big hit at the time.
Yeah. And then I remember this album. Punk was punk. Is that fair to say? Was punk your first love, or was it hip hop and rap? Because I know you spoke about that as well earlier.
Well, what's the difference, man?
Oh,
there's no difference. I had a love for music from a very young age, and I'm one of those people who I don't really care about what it sounds like, to be honest. I mean, I do, because that's what connects with me first. But the meaning behind things really resonate with me. And I guess I should take that back a little bit and retract, because the sound is part of the meaning. Like, I like to think about the reverberation and the way that it hits your body and your ears and your mind. So melody, harmony, rhythm, all really count in my book, and so does the message, and that could be the lyrics. I mean, in instrumental music, there's still a message, and it's still speaking to you. I've never sat back and gone like I'm a punk fan, because you know what, I am. I've never gone back and thought, oh wow, I'm a folk music fan, because I am. I've never gone, I'm a funk music fan. I am. I'm a rock and roll fan. Like literally, my record collection's here. If you know what, I should just grab 3 records and see what they are randomly. I'll grab a pile, because I do have to check on the salmon anyway.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'll grab a pile and see what happens.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go. We'll see what happens. Checking on the fish here. That's important stuff.
The fish, yes.
Yeah. No, we don't want to burn it. We don't want everybody to feel left out.
Music, they say, is food for the soul, and salmon
food is
today
actually food for the soul.
Food for the belly.
Very lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got. All right. Here we go. This is just from my record collection, though.
Okay. Yeah.
This is not the. So most of these are probably a little bit older, actually, but not all of them. I've got this here too, because this is what I was listening to. I was listening to War on Drugs before you called.
All right.
We've got Manassas. Stephen Stills and Manassas there.
Stephen Stills.
Oh, look at that. Harry Nilsson.
All right.
Yukon Blonde.
Yes.
The first edition.
All right.
That's Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. Wow. Dire Straits.
Yeah.
One of the.
This is just me. This is just
pulling out. This is not alphabetical order. This is nothing. UB40. All right. Labor of Love. Okay. Classic. I can't
this
tell.
Is the first band, Wilco.
Okay.
Very strange stuff. And the Monkees.
And the
people say we're monkeying around.
Yeah, we're too busy.
And so you're right. I mean, it's just a whole mix. It's an eclectic mix, right? Like it's everything. It's from one.
It's everything. That's just from pulling out like a thing from my record collection. But if I did that with my CD collection, it'd probably be a little different too.
Yeah,
I still have CDs. I'll do it with CDs. Here we go. Random pick. It's gonna be fun. Here we go. Random selection. Just grabbing them. The Beatles.
All right. You would think the Beatles would be on vinyl, but that's good. CD.
They are. I do have them. I have this on vinyl and I have that on vinyl, but you never know.
True. Yeah. Whatever you come across.
Depeche Mode.
Mode. All right.
D'Angelo.
All right.
The Hip.
All right.
Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Outkast. And Led Zeppelin. Everybody's collections like that, no?
Sure.
Can you say a little bit?
Yeah.
So I'm no special. I just like it. Go for it.
I have my kind of organized.
It's funny because all I can think of when you pulled those out and started going through them, honestly, nothing to do with me. All I can think of is my wife, because she's a librarian. So if stuff doesn't go back in alphabetical order, there's hell to pay. There's hell to pay.
I tried that, and then people come to my house and they never put it back the same way.
Sgt. Pepper's. Wings.
Nice. So similar. Just
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I don't have that one.
So I have a story. So when it opened in Toronto, Donny Osmond was Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
My sister was at a school called J.B. Tyrrell in Scarborough. And if you remember the musical, when it first came out here in Toronto, school choirs were part of the performance. I just remember the beginning because the school choir was there. They sang, and my sister would come out and she kind of moved a chair. I think that maybe the narrator or Donnie sat in. I can't remember. And at the end of the show, we're all at the back of the theater waiting for my sister to come out. We just happened to have a family reunion at the same time. So there's 30 of us, just our family waiting, plus everyone else. Donny Osmond comes out. Everyone's taking photos of him. My dad takes his camera, gives it to Donny Osmond, and said, "Can you take a picture of my daughter and I?" The best.
And what did Donny do?
He did. He took the photo. He took the camera and he took a photo of my dad and my sister.
Why not?
Was the best. Oh my goodness. Nirvana.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, this is a fun album. And I remember when I got this on CD from, what was that? You pay a penny or $1 and you got like 10
like Columbia
CDs.
Record House or whatever.
Columbia Record House.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was CD or was it cassette? I blasted it. My dad came in my room and said, "Turn the music down." And it's not even a loud album, but this was it. Huey Lewis and the News. I turned it loud because I thought my dad would like the music.
He does now, doesn't he?
He probably does. He probably does. But I've also got some of my dad's records in the back here as well. But yeah, thanks for sharing that.
A couple episodes ago, this guy pulls out Roger Whittaker, and I'm just like, dude, come on.
Roger Whittaker, and then these are all my dad's. Now all the Nat King Cole.
Oh yeah, I mean, my dad is a huge Nat King Cole fan.
Yeah,
and frankly, Nat King Cole is such an incredible singer, but maybe even better at playing the piano. Like he's just a phenomenal talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love listening to Nat King Cole on the piano. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
Such a great. Oh, looks like someone's getting Amazon here at the house.
Was there a song or music that first turned you on, Julian?
Oh, like for reals?
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh, but I think it was PYT by Michael Jackson.
I just heard that song like last week. I was
just like, oh my God, what is that? PYT? Video thing. It just like all of a sudden from the get-go, you're in. You know, I've since lost a little bit or a lot of bit of love for Michael just as a person.
Yeah.
But those records, Off the Wall and Thriller, are an exercise in musicology for sure.
Absolutely. What about, was there a moment, I don't know if it was an artist or an album or a song, or maybe a moment, maybe it was watching performances at the Apollo, where in your head or in your heart, you said, "This is what I want to do"?
It certainly wasn't watching artists at the Apollo because they were getting booed off and kicked off and yanked by a cane and stuff. I thought maybe that's not really what I want to do at all.
I don't want to do that.
I did see the Jackson Victory Tour, and that was really quite astonishing. Harry Belafonte talks about, actually, no. You know who does talk about this? I got it mixed up, but at that concert, there was a moment when I was a child and the performance began and the lead performer at the time was MJ, of course. And he came out and there was just a spotlight on him. Mm-hmm. And I remember it vividly. He didn't move. The spotlight was just on this sort of silhouette. It was dark. It was an exhibition stadium at the time. And, just one low spotlight on this man in front of, I don't know how many people, 25,000 people. And 5 minutes went by and he did nothing. All of a sudden, he goes like this. And the entire stadium erupted. No music, nothing, just sort of like a low hum. He goes like this. And then stands there for another 5 minutes. And everybody's going crazy. But you know what's so interesting? I watched a documentary on Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
And Leonard Spock. And For the Love of Spock, his son did this documentary on Leonard, on his father. And it goes back to show me that, you know, like, for example, even the moonwalk per se was a Cab Calloway move that was done forward. I mean, my grandfather used to dance forward in that sort of way, and the only thing was that it was reversed. But Harry Belafonte was one of the first performers to ever do so little that the audience reacted so much. Like the band would be churning and churning and churning, and Harry Belafonte would just stop, and the band would stop. They're playing they're playing calypso music. It's moving, it's moving, it's going, it's going. And he just stopped. And then boom, bang again. And the audience would go, what the? And go, go, go. And that sort of frenzy would start to happen. And so those kind of moments were like, okay, the smallest things. And so Spock actually, Leonard Nimoy tried to use that same philosophy within his own work, like the subtle movements in his face. Mm-hmm. His ear or his eyebrow going up, just really small moments where, it's something that you absolutely notice because nothing else is going on. I mean, Steve Martin, the comedian, also talked about his career and how when he was going through the club scene, one of the most interesting things was when the audience got louder, he didn't. He'd start to whisper into the mic.
Oh, wow.
And then the audience would react. And so that sort of juxtaposition and that sort of trying to understand the audience and the crowd, and it's not manipulation. And I guess it is in some sort of a way, but I find that very interesting. And so I guess to answer your question, there's really no moment or performance or artist that really made me feel that way. It just happens to be the study of all of that has always made me really move towards trying to figure it out. I just want to figure it out, and I know that I never will. And that's such an amazing thing to chase. Thank God that's the main drug that I'm after,
The journey, yeah.
That's amazing.
For sure.
That's amazing. I know we asked you if it would be possible for you to play us a song tonight. Are you able to share a song with us and maybe tell us a story behind it?
I guess, yeah, I can do that. Sure.
Awesome. That'd be great. Love it.
I don't know how the sound's going to go. It's, but we'll see. Got to check on that fish again,
How's it coming along?
No idea. I haven't checked yet. I'm teasing. It's coming along just fine.
Nice.
All right, Cassie. She may stay. She may go. You never know. Hi, girl. Daddy's just going to play the guitar.
How does Cassie like your music?
Depends, really. She seems to be staying. Are you going to stay? I'm going to do a song called Be With You.
Okay.
Because I like it.
Sounds good.
This song is a song that I wrote when I was at Camp Uchagayas. Years ago, I did a couple of workshops there with the kids. The kids there at that camp, a lot of them are terminally ill. Mm-hmm. And it was such a crazy moment in my life to see children, specifically, who were told that they may not live very long, to have such a zest and excitement for living. And so I wrote the song. It didn't take long. I left the first session I ever did there and walked through the forest with my dog at the time, Farley, and wrote this tune. So
awesome.
Love it.
It is on the Ridge. I'm working on new music, and I hope that it turns out okay. But this one I know how to play.
All righty.
Woke up just the other day, noticed you were gone. Wasn't sure just what to do, so I wrote down this song. We both know this is crazy, so tell me something new. All I wanna do is be with you. Just be with you. Nothing seems to be going right, and that's alright with me. Sure, we've all had our battles. It works out eventually. We both know this is crazy, so tell me what to do. All I wanna do is be with you. Well, growing up and falling down, trying to pick yourself up off the ground. You tried so hard, you gave it all. Nothing in the world could have broken your fall. We both know this is crazy. Tell me what to do. All I wanna do is be with you. Growing up and falling down, trying to pick yourself up off the ground. You tried so hard, you gave it all. Nothing in the world could have broken your fall. We both know this is crazy, so tell me what to do. All I wanna do is be with you. Just be with you.
All right.
Lovely.
Thank you so
Lovely,
much.
lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That was really good.
Good.
Yeah.
We're like we have a segment, Julian, called Lost Venues.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we take a mini dive or a deep dive, if you will, into a venue you've played in before. Maybe you've got a funny story or a weird thing happened there. But the thing in common about these lost venues is that they don't exist anymore. So I'm curious if you have
That would be very common. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I've got a few. I don't know. I can't really think of one in particular story that I would gravitate to. But there used to be a place around the corner from me here in the East End called Relish. And a lot of friends and I from this hood and all over the place would end up there on the Sunday night sort of jam. I love jams, and that's how I got into things in the first place. I guess the reality is most of the open stages and jams that I sort of got my start at are lost venues. There used to be Broadway Bob's. That's when I came home from my stay in New York at the Apollo, and I actually got up with Wild Tea and the Spirit and his band and sang sitting on the dock of the bay there. I was 16 at that time. And then open stages and open jams would become sort of my home for a long time. It used to be a little place on Yonge Street called Kokomo. It was a tiny little place, no bigger than my living room here. And Ursula and John were the two that ran that open stage. It was the first sort of acoustic duo. And so many people I knew through those times. And so many of these people are actually not with us, which is unfortunate. But I learned a lot from these people, like Adrian Tex Chainsaw. He was a huge Steve Earle fan. He used to get up and do Copperhead Road all the time. We used to have a lot of fun. And Skip Pickering, he had this great song. I wonder what happened to Skip. I'm not sure. Barry Ridley was another guy, not younger. He was just short, really tiny dude. I ended up living with him actually for a while. Me and Jeremy from Stagger Crossing housed him for a bit, and he was our roommate. I never seen a dude smoke so much in my life. It was horrible. But anyway, he used to get up and sing 18, and he put on this mask. He was doing Alice Cooper stuff. And the open stage at Relish, a lot of old funny faces. Gary 17 is a character that I remember. He used to wear an all-white jumpsuit with he kind of was like Ace Ventura, but for music journalism.
All right.
Somebody should make a movie about Gary 17. Maybe I'll write a story, but I don't know if I can remember enough of the stuff because we always got into so much trouble and up to so much mischief. Venues that are gone, like, oh, wow. So many.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you mentioned about Wild Tea, and I remember and jam sessions, and I remember jamming with Tony at, trying to remember the bars on the Danforth South Side, burnt down between like Coxwell and Woodbine. I'm trying to remember what the name anyway. And
was that Crossroads or no?
Was it Crossroads? It's on the south side.
No, it's not Crossroads.
A fire. It's where the Firkin is now, where the new tower is.
I remember.
Firkin.
Yeah.
Whatever that bar was.
I remember
it was sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we were there with like Tony and I think Darren Smith from Harem Scarum and a whole bunch of us just having a.
Was John Long there too?
Possibly, I'm not sure.
Because there was a building on the Danforth, and I remember going to the open stage. It's no longer there, but it didn't close. It crumbled to the ground. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Was that?
And my friend had just had a baby, and the girl that
maybe that's what
it was the mother of the child was living in the building when the building actually crumbled to the ground. The child is now, I think, 13 years old, 14 years old. But at the time, it was near that where the Petro-Canada gas station, where the Kia dealership and stuff is. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's one venue. Yeah. That's a story. That's crazy because the structural part of it wasn't structurally sound. So they lived on the third floor. I remember going to meet Ben for the first time, and maybe like 2 weeks later, because I remember sitting on the drums and John Long was there and all those cats there. There was a patio on the side of it, right? Does that ring a bell, Greg?
I don't remember, only because we got in late at night, so I just sort of loaded through the front and jammed and
right. Yeah, no, there was one building on the Danforth that literally crumbled, and it was on the news. I remember it, and my friend and his the woman who the mother of his child and the mother were in the building when it crumbled, and they all lived, not a scratch on them.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and it could be the same bar. I, for some reason in my head, I had a fire, but it very well could be the same place, and that's what happened. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So you mentioning about Tony just reminded me of that. I hadn't thought about that memory in a very long time. So thank you for sparking that.
Well, there you go. There's a venue that's lost, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I know we're coming up to the end. I know you've got to get going. So one of the questions I like to ask our guests before we finish off is, what's in your earbuds lately? What are you listening to, whether it's earbuds or speakers? But what are you listening to lately that people should be checking out? And I know we went through a whole variety.
Wow. I listen to so much stuff. I mean, I can't even believe it. Like I have my own radio show that I do on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I'm always trolling through things that I think are cool. So I do. Who am I listening to right now? Wow, it's so hard because I listen to everything all the time, and I never remember who it is.
Anything new that you've been listening to? That any new artists?
Yeah, that's the trick. I'm thinking. Because yes, there is. I mean, I'd have to look on my phone. I don't even know where it is.
It's all good.
Because there's so much going on all the time. Oh, here it is. It's right here. I can tell you. I've some stuff that's really tweaked my interest as of late. Let's think here. So Mob Bounce is a great hip hop group. Black Belt Eagle Scout, also cool. Kaya Cater, very cool. Arlo Parks is super cool. I was listening to, who was I listening to the other day? It was super, super rad. His name was Aaron something. And he did a cover of my Something As a Telephone. What was it? So groovy. I'll find it. But there's, I mean, like I still listen to the old stuff too. Like I can't help it because it's all just too fun. Mm-hmm. What was I listening to? Recently played. Let's find out. I was listening to Sky Wallace earlier. My daughter was listening to Fifth Harmony, apparently, because that's on my recent played.
Oh, that's not yours, Julian.
No, but I can dig it, man. That's cool. Was listening to Joel. That's not me either. Aaron Fraser was cool. He does a song cover of My God Has a Telephone, which is really cool. Yeah, some great stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, and then there's Blackpink. That's me for sure. Just kidding. My daughter. 100%. Mountain Brews is cool. Love Los Lobos. They got a new record out. Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
Sturgill Simpson, Climax Blues Band. All great stuff, you know?
That's great.
What does your daughter think of Julian Taylor?
She used to think I was cool, man.
She used to. So she must be a teenager now.
She's going that way. Yeah. She's 10. She'll be 11, and then I'll get less cool as the days go on. But hopefully I get cool again.
Yeah.
I was really cool at one point.
Yeah. I think when the kids turn, what is it, Greg, 20? You start getting cool again?
It's funny. We were actually out with my son at Danforth. Not Danforth, sorry, at Elmo last night to see Shad with Karim, myself, my son, and a bunch of his buddies. And it was, it's fun now. My kids grew up going to live shows with me. So it's great now that they're older and we can hang out at the Elmo and just have.
That's cool. Time. That's amazing. Yeah. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
My son is 16 and does not think I'm cool at all.
So, you know what? It's okay. It's cool. It's cool not to be cool, man.
Yeah. I think 4 or 5 more years, then I think we're back. Once he leaves university, I think once he graduates.
Well, you know what? My daughter did say something to me yesterday. It was really cute. Ever since she was born, I've been singing her, to bed. And I've always sung her the same song. And it's not like your standard lullaby, but it's from the Three Amigos. It was written by Randy Newman. Blue Shadows. Do you know the song? Blue Shadows on the Trail. Mm-hmm. I've been singing that to her since she was a baby. And they're doing a project on songs and music and in school. And she told me yesterday, I'm like, what song are you doing? And she's like, I'm doing Blue Shadows.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's still some cool there. There's still some cool.
Yeah, still some cool.
Yeah.
Whether she wants to admit it or not. Julian, you're about to head off on the road. Is that right?
Again, yeah.
Yeah. Where are you playing? Where can people find you? I'm
playing in Edmonton, Regina, and Swift Current. So it's going to be cold. I'm trying to pack right now, and I was in LA 2 weeks ago, and it's a different kind of pack this time.
It's a little bit more heavier with the clothes. Julian, thank you so much for your time. I've got like a dozen more questions I want to ask you, but we'll say that for another day. Hopefully, when I guess things are open, but once they're open and people are more comfortable, we do our show. We used to do our show live
cool.
at Radical Road on Queen.
I don't know if I know it.
Where is it? Queen and where, Greg?
Queen and Logan, right where Logan and T's at Queen, right there.
Oh yeah, I know where it is then.
Yeah. So once we get back in there, or if we find ourselves in another venue, we'd love to have you in and chat live.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, awesome. Julian Taylor, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All the best with this tour out west, and all the best with all the music this year.
And all the best with you and family, and stay safe and sound, and keep on keeping on, man.